Hi, I'm Amy from Soar with Tapping, and today I want to talk about PTSD, what it is, and how to work through it with tapping. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder, and it occurs when somebody has experienced a very terrifying and traumatic event, and they are having trouble recovering from it. PTSD can last for months or years if not addressed properly, and it can cause severe emotional and physical symptoms. The big question is, how do we deal with the cause of PTSD so we don't have to continue suffering with these often debilitating symptoms that go along with it? Before I move forward with explaining how to work through PTSD, I really want to suggest strongly that anybody suffering with PTSD, work with a trained professional to release it from your system. It's often hard to recognize our own blocks in a situation like this, and getting the support of a trained professional in this area is something I highly recommend. So please seek somebody out in your area, somebody that you trust. Interview them first, find out if they have a history of dealing with this sort of thing, but please seek help in this area. And the answer for how to deal with PTSD is slowly, delicately, and frame by frame. And let me explain each of those steps. When I say gently, what I mean is often these events that trigger PTSD are so traumatic that even the idea of reliving them in any way can bring up extreme anxiety. So we need to feel safe when we're approaching these things. And sometimes the only way to feel safe is to put the event in a room down at the end of the hall, behind a barricade and behind a vault door, something really extreme. If you can picture that. And then sometimes it still has a SUDS rating of 10 if it's that extreme and that scary. So you put it in the room and you tap it down from a 10 until it feels okay to remove all of the locks and barricades on the door. And then you tap it down again if you need to. And then if it feels safe enough, you open the door. And then you tap it down. And you just take it extremely slowly, delicately, and gently. It's not worth it to force your way through a process like this because it can often re-injure and deepen the fears associated with the event itself. So the idea behind it is to support and help feel safe in the process of getting closer to it, and then you can start going frame by frame. And that's because in each frame, there is often a thought or a feeling that needs to be acknowledged and honored and healed so that it can be released. When dealing with a trauma like this, the instinct is to hurry through it and, in essence, maybe desensitize ourselves to the triggering parts of it. But I'm telling you, the way to work through this is slowly, methodically, and painstakingly slow, and paying attention to every single detail. Because in every frame of that event, there was a split-second decision or a lapse in awareness, something that maybe you judge yourself for, you feel guilty about, or brings up intense fear. And each of those things needs to be given enough attention and enough honoring that our bodies can let it go. Often these frames hold the residue of guilt or regret or fear that continues to stay stuck in our body. And that's what is triggered when we have those intense reactions, when we're unable to sleep, when we have a panic attack or have such extreme anxiety that our bodies shut down completely. When working through a traumatic event with tapping, please pay attention to every thought, every feeling, every regret, every fear, and give it the time and energy that it needs. Be patient with yourself, and you will see some positive results. The good news is tapping is extremely effective at working through PTSD. So find a professional that you trust and that you feel comfortable with, and give it the time and the energy that it needs. And you will find some healing in this area. Good luck.